Hi guys, welcome back to our channel and really thankful that you're here and this is the reason why we continue. So today I'll be talking about the common mistakes that you should avoid when running influencer marketing campaigns. So just to give you a gist, my name is Wen and I am the founder and CEO of SushiVid. So SushiVid is a 4-year-old company and last year we did about 11,000 branded contents for 1,500 different brands. This is achieved by our team of 20 people, so we're very thankful, we're lean and we try to keep our budgets tight so that our customers can not have to pay so much, and also we use a lot of technology to help us to make this more efficient, make this better. Just to tell you also, we won't be where we are without our brands, so really thankful to all these brands who have supported us, who have given us their campaigns, who have trusted us with their campaigns. Just a quick shout out to all of them, thank you, and also of course to my team, without which I won't be able to achieve my dreams. So here we start. I'll try to be as fast as I can because I don't want to take up too much of your time. So common mistakes that we notice with brands is that one is that they don't define their goals specifically. So of course a lot of brands we talk to, right, they're like, okay, I want to get more sales. I also want awareness. Yeah, I also want to educate the audience. Brother, if you're only going to give me 10,000 US dollars, then let's stick to one goal. So for example, if your brand is brand new, nobody knows this product yet. Okay, so I think it is suffice to say we need to spend some money just to build the awareness for the brand itself. Let's not get into educating about the product. Let's not get into the sales. Let's just talk about the awareness for this product. Maybe even create competitions just to get it going. So a lot of times when clients have like a limited budget but they want to spread too thin, this is where I think that, guys, let's stick to our goalposts. The most important thing is that, when we set goals, we want to make sure that we achieve our goals. So when we have one goal and we achieve it, that's when we think again, okay, now that we've achieved this, let's move on to the next goal. But instead of coming to me with an undefined goal, like, oh yeah, I want to get more sales. I also want to educate the audience. Yeah, I also want to run an event, like, oh, hey, we can't do so much with 10,000 US dollars. So how about we start with one goal? I think that's a very important thing. We shouldn't be too greedy. We should try to, set our minds on a few key things that we want to achieve, and just one main goal, maybe 4 or 5 key deliverables, and that's it. Let's not try to, overachieve or try to. Of course, we want to overachieve, but let's not try to overpromise at the beginning. Okay, so be enticed by the audience size alone. A lot of brands that come to us, they want, the bigger the influencer, the better. I always go back to this, right? You don't want the bigger, the better, because sometimes, all this audience, it really goes down to your objective as well. Like if your objective is to educate, then you don't need to educate so many people. You just need to educate people who are really close to the purchase intent, people that are very close to what you already want. And sometimes if you're just relying solely, and influencers are aware as well that brands are always looking for bigger and bigger. So when you're looking at just size alone, right, then you're enticing them, you're encouraging them to go and buy fake followers, which is something that will destroy, it will detriment the space in the industry in general. I would rather we go for niche and find really good influencers with high engagement, that will follow through, whose content is trustworthy, and have a more wholesome look at the influencer rather than just looking at, oh, let's look at a size, right? Being overly restrictive of the influencer's content creation, the content direction, is another problem that we face as well. A lot of brands, they are so used to adhering to the brand guideline. Your logo has to be a certain pixel from a certain corner, but in this day and age, churning out fast content is very important. Being able to churn out as many contents as possible, as many relevant contents as possible, is also equally important. The most important thing is that when you create content with influencers, you are using the influencers to disseminate the information to their audience. It is their audience that you are after, not yours. So their audience are used to their style, their branding, their guide, not your guide. So when you are using them, it's like you're using a billboard. The billboard is right at this highway. You can't just move the billboard to another highway, right? It's the same thing with influencers. Their content style is like that. You cannot change their content style to a completely different style just because of your brand guide. Of course, if you are using the influencer just as a celebrity, a host, an ambassador, fine, you still have your own production crew and everything. But if in case you're getting these influencers for a couple of $100 just to make a content to sort of like be create a testimony for you, then it should be as authentic as possible. It should be according to their guide, not yours. The next one is the fail to structure influencer agreement and contract. So a lot of brands, when they talk to influencers, they assume, after the content finish already, I can use the content for other my media to sponsor posts on my Facebook. These are things that you should respect and ask the influencers before you assume that it's allowed. It is not like working with a creative agency where once the content is created, it's yours and you can do as you feel fit. With influencers, it's not the same. The content IP is still theirs unless explicitly mentioned. So when you want to use the influencer's content otherwise, you must ask. Also, the other thing is a lot of brands like to say like, oh, after the influencer posts the content on their YouTube, can they also post on Facebook? Don't make the assumption that the answer is yes. Just because some influencers can be a little bit more calculative about that, right? They sell you content on YouTube doesn't mean that they're willing to share it on their Facebook. They're willing to, create a 1-minute version and put it on their Instagram. Not all influencers are as flexible, so it's better to manage your own expectations, and sometimes maybe better to put the agreement up front. Because influencers and you have misalignment of expectations. So to give you an example, recently we had an influencer who we actually put on the clause, hey, no deleting the content. So the influencer never deletes to begin with, but because they saw that I put no deletion of content, they start to want to renegotiate for a different price. And I'm like, no, if you wanted and this was like pre-agreed. We agreed everything else, and then when the agreement came out, the influencer tried to, spin it around and try to get more money out of us. And we said, no, this is, usually with the influencers, if they want to delete content, they have to tell us, not the other way around. So we try to tell him that, look, this is not professional because we. You should have told us if that's what you wanted. But this is an example. We expect the influencers to tell us, but that's the thing when using agency, sort of a startup like us, right? Is that we have all these pre-structured agreements, and when we send it to the influencers, we try to make it as foolproof as possible, so that when the agreement gets to, we protect our clients, so that when the agreement, when the campaign is completed, we have no hiccups on whether you want to share the content somewhere else, or whether the influencer is going to delete the content, or even agreement as in iterations. How many iterations will the influencer be willing to do for you? That should be written up front. What kind of iterations are they willing to do for you as well? So especially when it comes to video content, there's going to be so much differences between the brand and the influencer, right? The influencer feel that this is my content, take it or leave it. The brand is like, hey, I already paid 50% upfront, or I already agree with you as said agency, me, right? And I want it my way. So it's a lot of he say, she say, and then it's a lot easier if everything is already written up front. As much as you can, whatever you think of that you could have missed, you should put it down in an agreement. And of course, don't have to be so structured like get it stamped and all that. At least let the influencer know. Manage the expectation so that even the written email is good enough. It's like a written verbal gentleman's agreement is good enough. But yes, always have an agreement written so that you protect yourself when the influencer or yourself has a mismanagement expectations. Okay, so content guidelines is very important for us to have an objective for the campaign. And then, of course, you should also provide the influencer with, as much clarity as possible. When is this campaign? Right? If you are promoting a promotion, when is your promotion? Right? You should tell the influencer upfront, because the influencer might be thinking the content will be made next month when your promotion is this month. Right? You want to at least do the content to be live at least 1 week before your promotion, or 2 days before your promotion, because sometimes the content takes time to come up on Instagram, or the content takes time to trend. So give it a day or two at least. So give yourself a good campaign title, something catchy, so that the influencers will be enticed to propose to your campaign. Of course, you must put down your key messages. Like for example, if just say I'm going to be promoting this particular shampoo, right? I want to be able to tell the influencers, okay, my shampoo is famous because it's organic. My shampoo is good because it's made by a group of dermatologists, who specialize in hair. Something that at least you tell your unique selling proposition to the influencer upfront so that they know how to structure their content, right? Always prepare a clear content direction for them, like even give them a sample YouTube video that you have in mind. I know it's a little bit more effort, but you should, at least for video version, you should have some samples that they can look at so they have a gauge of like, okay, this is what my client expects. And they should also send you a sample video, even from their past content or their past campaigns. They should send you a video so that you can see their past content and be like, okay, is this something that I can accept? Okay. Okay, of course you have to give them as well landing pages and links. You don't expect them to go and hunt for the link for you because there will be mistakes. So give them the link, the exact link that you want, preferably after you are URL build your links so that you don't you can track them properly on your Google Analytics. Of course, provide them with a website as well. Sometimes nowadays a product can be sold on multiple websites. Do send them a website so that they know which website they are referring to for the best content. And sometimes if just say you are selling this product at a certain price and then the actual official one or their Amazon shop or their Shopee or their Lazada shop may be selling at a different price. So make sure or like there are multiple sellers selling the same product. So make sure that you give them the right website, right? And most importantly, you have to tell them your expected live date, because you can't be like, oh yeah, anytime you're ready, no rush. When you give them a no rush, then they will take their time, you will take your time, they will take their time, you'll take your time, and then the content will come out outdated after a few months after your content is after your product's already launched and everything. You must give them an estimated live date. Manage that properly and always chase them for the draft, always chase them for the live content, so that to live their content, so that you don't miss the time. You want to make sure that this is told upfront as well, because sometimes influencers may already have pre-booked multiple campaigns at the same time, and you want to be on the slot, and also you don't want them to be doing multiple different brands at the same time, especially if you just say this is Black Friday and they're doing like 4 different tech products. Then of course you need to tell them what you're measuring so that they expect also like, okay, my client expects more clicks, my client expects more sales. Let them know your objective, and that's so important, and also how you are planning to measure it, because at the end of the day, they also want to feel that sense of fulfillment. They also want to know that their content is adding value to your business. So involve them in your performance measurement so that they feel like, okay, I'm achieving something as well. So now the golden question: do it yourself or go with an agency? So of course, a lot of things nowadays you can do yourself. You can do your Facebook ads yourself. You can do your Google ads yourself, right? But for me, I invest in getting a Google ads agency to do it for me. Because why? This Google ad agency, they are experts. They are people who look at AdWords all the time, right? So they will know what are the best practices. They will know what are the do's and don'ts. How to make it more acceptable for Google. What is Google's latest changes? They will know, right? Whereas if you hire an exec and pay the exec, just say 4,000 ringgit or 1,000 US dollars, right? And she spends just does your brand. So the level of expertise is just your brand alone for Google ads. And at the same time, you try to spread it and like, okay, maybe he also does Google ads and Facebook ads. Then you're diluting that person's knowledge, and yes, he will have your brand's knowledge and expertise, but Google Ads is something very technical that you really want somebody who's expert, because you know what, you put $1,000, $1,000 is gone. You put $2,000, $2,000 is gone. You really want to make sure that you get somebody who at least does multiple brands, who has that level of expertise, and you pay the same price as paying your executive, but you get somebody expert to do it for you. It's the same with influencer marketing. Like, we know what is the best practices. We do 11,000 branded contents a year last year, right? So whatever we learn from brand A, we implement in brand B. Whatever we learn from brand A and brand B, we implement in brand C. So just to give you an example, right? When we work with influencers, every campaign, we will sieve out who has fake followers, right? And then we will remove them from our stash. And then the next brand, we give them influencers plus new influencers. And then anyone that we suspect suspicious influencer, we remove, and then we put in new brands, new influencers again. So as and when we go on, every 100 influencers, we clean the system. We make our influencers more and more accurate. And this is something you cannot do if you're doing it yourself. Of course, there are review sites. You can find reviews on influencers. You can talk to other brands that have worked with these influencers, but it's slower lah. So if you want to do it faster, you don't have the time. If you are planning to spend money to hire one executive to do it, I strongly suggest our fees doesn't equate, even one executive. If just say your campaign is, $1,000 US, the cost that you pay to us is only $250 US. And for that, I think it's better to use or engage enterprise platform like ours, or use our agency for like 40% of the cost. So if you just say $1,000, we take 40%, which is $400. But we give you so much more value. We plan, we curate, we make sure that proper information is disseminated to influencers. So of course, I won't go into details of the pros and cons of using an agency. I think you all know. Of course, agencies comes with a price, but nowadays agencies are, the only thing I can say is that there's a lot of competition and amongst agencies. So you would want to pick an agency that is, depending on your objective, some people prefer like a headhunter style, very curated. They'll come and have coffee with you. They will plan. We're not like that. We're a technology-based startup. We give you information based on past campaigns. We give you case studies. We give you best practices. And we function as a platform. And we all the campaigns from all the data from all the campaigns that we've done, we curate them, we put them, and we learn and we become better. So depending on which agency you choose as well. So our agency is a lot more. We are more of a tech startup, but then because of the demand, a lot of people want us to be an agency, so therefore we have an agency model. But we are definitely first and foremost a tech company. So it really depends on what you're looking for. But there are various different kinds of agencies that charge various different rates as well. But I'm not sure about the rest. But we are going at 25% for self-serve. And if you're using us as an agency, we charge 40%. Everything else, we let you know. We are 100% transparent on pricing. At the end of the day, a lot of things also comes down to common sense as well, like for me at least. When it comes to, for example, email marketing, when I don't know how to do an email marketing, I will subscribe to 10 different e-commerce platforms because they have, probably 5 people doing emails. I will look at their emails, see what I like, what I don't like, what can apply to my customers, and then I will copy, right? Same thing with, promotions and cards or articles. I will just look at maybe HubSpot's articles. I will look at Zendesk articles, and then I'll be like, okay, I like the articles. This is what I like. This is what I don't like, and then I will implement what I like and what I don't like. It's the same thing with influencers. When you look out there, look at the influencers' contents, then you will know, okay, these are the type I like. These are the type that I don't like, right? This one I think relevant to my brand. This is not relevant to my brand. So at the end of the day, if you're willing to put a bit of time to do a bit of research yourself, actually you don't really need an agency to do this for you. So of course, if you do it yourself, you are faster. You can implement on the go, on the fly. You don't need to wait for somebody else to come back to you all the time. So that's why for us as well as an agency, our key is speed. We want to make sure that, you ask for a proposal today, we send it to you now. You want a list of influencers, we'll give it to you tomorrow. We want to be as fast as possible. And we do that by using technology. So if you already have your own content, you've created content with creative agencies and all that, I want to just take a little moment to share with you about social seeding. Sometimes you don't necessarily need to use influencers to create content and share the content. If you already have good content, ads that you've created on billboards and posts that you already put onto Facebook, or your own advertisement that you put on YouTube, get influencers to share them for you. We actually have a solution, because we have 12,000 influencers on our platform. We actually allow our influencers to share content for you, starting from RM1, which is 25, which is a quarter US dollars. So if you are interested in social seeding, get influencers to share the content for you in a more organic way, let us know. Actually, don't let me know. Just go to my website, www.goshella.com. And social seeding actually helps you with SEO as well. So initially when the MCO started, we closed off our Google ads because we felt like we don't want to spend money on advertisements because we weren't sure. What happened was then we realized that immediately SushiVid as a company, our website didn't rank in the first page and the second page anymore. So what we did was we actually used our own influencers via Goshella to share our content on their Twitter and on their Facebook. And subsequently, because there's so much sharing happening, we went back to page 1 on Google search, even though we didn't pay for Google Ads. That's how Google Ads work, right? Because you want, the more people recommend it, the more people share this link, Google assumes that this is a more legit website, or this is a more legit site, and they rank you higher. So okay, so these are the reasons why or when you should be social seeding, right? So when you have a promotion that's really attractive, that's when you should do it. If you're just going to give a 5%, 10%, sale, which is, in my opinion, not a very honest sale, like not a very sincere kind of a sale, then yeah, you don't expect that much sharing or that much noise to be built. So, of course, if you just say you are selling an entire beef burger for $1, yes, use this social seeding because it's going to help. Because your promotion to begin with is already really, really good. Use social seeding when it's relevant to your audience. So make sure that when you social seed, the content shouldn't be like, heavy white papers. Rather, when you share on social seeding, this goes to Twitter and Facebook, so the content should be relevant to Twitter and Facebook. Also make sure that the image is not blurred. Don't just give us a link and then, when we load the meta image, the logo is like, pixelated, because that's not going to help. So try to share with us content that has good image, or, when you actually create a good meta image for yourself, for your brand, then, we can just pull the meta image from your link. That will work as well. Of course, when your price per share is right. So of course, if you want really huge influencers to share, it comes at a price, right? So for example, influencers with 50,000 followers, they will be willing to share it for you for like, just say $10 US, or 50 ringgit. They're willing to share it for you. They don't make the content, they share only. Even 20 ringgit or $5 US for a share on Instagram story with a swipe up, that's good as well. So if you are interested for this social seeding, you can use our website. It's a very straightforward. Just put in the money, put in the message, put it in. Influencers will just automatically share, because it's $1 a share. We don't really curate, we don't really talk to you, because it's really pretty automated. It's almost like you top up your Touch and Go card, or you top up your Octopus card, and then you just whenever you pass through the gantry, you tap. It's the same thing. Every time an influencer share, we deduct $2. Every time they share, we deduct $2, 2 ringgit, and that's it. So I'm going to share with you a case study. So this particular company is very cute. They actually sell 3 lamps for the price of 2. So 3 lamps for the price of 2 is actually super value for money. It's like 33% discount. So even though the caption was really like cheesy, and the content, the caption was really like spammy in a lot of ways, they spent 50 ringgit, which I'm just going to divide by 4. It's 12.5 US. They actually got 20,000 reach. They got 35 influencers to share this content, because influencers also feel like, wow, 3 lamps for the price of 2. They were so willing to share it, right? And they get paid for it as well. So there were 35 shares for just 12.5 US, or 50 ringgit. And in total, they got like 1,668 likes and 65 comments for something so spammy, and a content that, the post is also just very average. So sharing works, but it really highly depends on your promotion, highly depends on your content and your pictures, and how feasible it is, and how attractive it is as well. So this wraps up my session. I hope today's one is short and sweet. Again, my name is Wen, and I am from the SV Group. So the SV Group comprises SushiVid, Goshella, and Confirm Plus Shop. Also SushiVid Live, the logo is not here. So everything that you will need to market to millennials, especially for Southeast Asia. So SushiVid.com actually works with influencers at scale. As mentioned, this is the cost per post, the advertising model of influencer marketing. And Goshella is when you just want influencers to share the content for you, the social seeding one that I just mentioned before. www.goshella.com, and of course a commission-based influencer marketing, which is currently only available for beauty and skincare. Confirm Plus Shop is actually a influencer e-commerce portal, so the influencers will sell it for you as if it's their own shop, and you pay them only when there's a sale. There's also a little bit of a setup fee at the moment, so talk to us if you're interested. This is my contact details. I'm Wen. You can reach me at wen@sushivid.com, and my phone number is stated there. And if you're calling from overseas, it's +6012 235 8324. So thank you so much. I look forward to the next video with you. I wish you all the best. If you guys are fasting, happy fasting. If you guys are, working from home, stay healthy, try to stretch, And thank you so much for your time, and appreciate your support. Do subscribe and leave me a feedback as well. Thank you. Bye bye.